everyone, and welcome to an episode of the BS Bar, where you get more booze and reviews. This is a weekly after hours podcast from BS Drunk Movie Reviews, and we will be at some point uploading the video version to our YouTube channel. But for those of you that are paid members, you get it first. And if you are listening to this on YouTube, you should become a paid member so you get it first.
Do it.
My name is Vetta, and as always, I am joined by my brother Matt.
Hey, you guys.
On this episode, we will be finishing up the Bring It On franchise
Thank God.
with Bring It On, Cheer or Die. And I've had so much cheer from these movies, I'm going to pick Die.
Oh, ain't that the truth, sister? Ain't that the truth? I'll tell you what.
Before we get started, the most important question, and honestly, with this franchise, one of the few things that I care about, what are you drinking?
Well, I was going to drink a cheerleader, but I've been doing that for this but I decided to drink wine, my favorite. But I was like, well, it's kind of like blood red. I'm putting up quotations for those not seeing the visual. Because I was like, it's blood red. It's wine. Oh, fuck off. I'm drinking it. Anyways.
So I am drinking a cherry Coke with like some watermelon pucker and some island punch pucker. So my goal is to figure out a drink that tastes like nerds candy. So I keep trying all these different things. I know. It's just really me throwing a whole bunch of stuff in a cup and drinking
I'm not judging. It sounds delicious. I love fruity drinks. So I'm saying bring it on.
So this is my question before we get started talking about the movie. Did you watch the trailer?
No.
God, you should have. It was horrible. This really wasn't a trailer. It was literally the parking lot scene with the football player while she's walking to her car.
Oh, gotcha. Nice.
That's all it was.
With Ian?
I was like, wait, this tells me nothing about the movie except she drove to school.
I didn't watch the trailer because I was like, you know what? I've had enough of these movies. I'm done.
Okay, and before we actually start talking about the movie, can I say the filming quality really went downhill with this one? This one looks like it was filmed 30 years ago.
True, but I have to be honest with you, this was better than the last 5 movies that we watched. I'm not gonna lie. And I have to as soon as I saw that this was the movie, I was like, was this the direction that this franchise really needed to go, the horror movie? But at the same time, I was like, you know what? It's not like bad to go in this direction. I was like, I don't know, maybe turn things up on its head a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah, I just had so much hope for this, and it didn't go the way I thought it was. So when this movie starts out, it opens up in 2002, so long ago, flashback sequence of cheer competition finale, because we've seen so many of those. That's literally how every single movie ends.
And right, ain't that the truth?
God. So what did you think about this? I thought it was lame as fuck.
Well, true, but I liked that it didn't do a dream sequence. It did a murder.
I'm just so happy there was no roll call. Like, how would they have roll called Cheer or Die?
They call me Death, anyways. But no, I did. Well, it was so weird because it was like one girl was like being compassionate, like with the girl with the bloody nose, which I didn't understand. The bloody nose came out of nowhere. I feel like
she got flicked.
Yeah, and I was like,
not like hit or punched, and her nose started bleeding.
Right, and I was like, I don't understand the bloody nose thing, but whatever. And then the one girl killed her because she sneezed on her with blood. I was like, I get how you can be mad about that, but I would just wait until after the competition and then smack a bitch, not murder her.
Oh yeah, she pushes her right off the pyramid, and apparently she literally in the movie just falls, like does a belly flop down to the ground,
right?
Which apparently broke her neck.
Right. No. Well, according to some, her head fell off.
Yeah, it decapitated her. Pop, because that's what happens when you break your neck. Apparently, one girl's like your head falls off.
It was so bad.
So after it shows her laying on the mat dead, it then shows 20 years later.
In 2022, which is now at time of filming this.
Yeah, right. Ugh. So, my first question was, did you pick who was going to be related to the original cheerleaders?
No, I didn't guess anything because this is the problem that I have with movies like this is there's no way of guessing who could have been them. Like the whole time I'm all like, they did not set up any
No.
like lampposts or breadcrumbs or whatever to figure out who the murderer was.
No clues, no nothing.
Yeah, so when the big reveal came around, I was like, oh, I mean, like I did guess. I guessed that. Okay, so this is the thing. My guess was the second twin was the murderer.
I thought that too after the football game when she got tripped over.
Yeah, can we talk about the football game in a minute?
Well, I was going to say, I wrote down my very first note is which one of these cheerleaders is related to a girl from the original squad.
Yeah,
like,
and
whether it was the killer or the dead woman, and it's actually both.
Right, and but they don't set it up to where you can figure it out yourself. That's what I hate about these horror movies these days. They don't set up a murder mystery. I'm all like, hey, I like to play along too, fucker.
Right, they're just like, figure it out on your own. No clues for you. So, so then this cheer squad, because they are the school from the 2002 Death Squad. Whatever, they can't do any tumbling, no stunts. All they can do is,
cheer.
Not even a somersault. The principal's like, not even a somersault on school
one
property.
Foot on the ground the whole time. And I'm all like, what? You can't even do a herky, which I found out from these movies. Yeah, okay, first off, I just want to comment on the football game itself. There was like no football fans in the stands at all. And I'm going to tell you right now, even the crappiest football team in high school will get you a fuck ton of fans. Because I'm telling you right now, I went to a high school. We were not champions or anything like that. But I'm telling you right now, whenever there was a football game, those stands were full to the max.
You went, yeah, it was at my high school too, and I went to a bigger high school than you did.
Yeah, you did.
Yours, I think it's because there was really nothing to do in the town.
Maybe was yours full?
Always. Yeah. Both the visitor and home teams were packed.
Yeah, that was my whole thing. I was like, there's like 10 people in the stands.
And even if you had no interest in football, you still went to the football game because you would hang out with people. And
exactly.
It was a social event.
Exactly. Yeah.
Not at this school.
Yeah, apparently, which I'm all like, that's an indicator of a red life. Yeah, like nobody, like I'm just the whole time I'm just like, I'm sorry. Did you guys need extras? I would have showed up to your fucking film thing. I would have been an extra, just stand in the stands like, woo, go team, go.
Yeah, and you wouldn't even have to pay me. Just let me go to the food cart, or just the food cart. A sandwich. Give me a sandwich.
Exactly. Promote my YouTube channel. Anyways.
Right? Let me take some selfies with the actors and we're good.
Yeah. And then I love how, so this school, they pull the two cheerleaders into the office over, acrobatics in their.
They did a stunt.
Exactly. But they didn't pull that fucker that was smoking weed on the field. Like, what's going on? I saw him.
They couldn't see him. He was behind the Gatorade jug.
Which I'm like, yo, I noticed him. You guys should have known. The woman from Willy Wonka should have noticed him. I'm just like the principal, which her office, I just want to say, was really shitty. It was really cheap.
Oh, it's a public school.
I guess it would.
Can we talk about how, real quick, before we talk about the office, that they're the Diablos?
So the Diablos. Yeah.
But their high school is called, what was it called? Elk Mound?
Oh, I don't know, but I'll take your word for it.
But I'm like, why wouldn't they be the Elks if they were Elk Mound? Why are
None of this movie makes sense. But at the same time, I was like, I don't hate it compared to the other ones.
So they're in the principal's office, and that's when you learn that the twins. So one twin is a cheerleader, the other one only wishes she was a cheerleader, apparently.
Which the one twin that is a cheerleader was all like, we have to try new things. And I'm like, yeah, but it looks like your twin wants to be a cheerleader. Why would you discourage that? That's not being a good sister.
No, that's not being a good twin. Not at all.
Yeah, that's like, because I don't know about you, but I was a big choir nerd in high school, and if our brother was my twin was all like, "Hey, you don't need to join choir because we need to do our own thing," I'd be like, "That is my thing, fucker. I'm doing it." Like, like I'm all like,
Right?
like the whole, and I love how the one girl ran into her and she's like, "What the hell?" And I'm like, "Oh, please stop it! Like you didn't notice her." And then she's like, "Hey, freshies aren't allowed on the field." And I'm all like, "Oh, get out of here with your nonsense."
Right? Because that's what freshmen are called, freshies. I'm
Are
like,
they? See, I didn't know that.
No,
Oh,
I was
I
being
was gonna say, I was like,
sarcastic.
I didn't know that. That must be a 90s thing. Because
No,
okay.
not at all.
Okay, so I love how, okay, first off, I want to just say real quick, I had a huge problem with this movie that A, there was no titties, and B, there was no sex at all. There was a lot of sex talk, but no sex. This is a horror movie. There should be
Right?
sex and titties,
Because
okay?
that's who the murderer kills. The naked
Exactly.
people having sex and doing the drugs.
Yes.
These people have not ever seen Scream. The
Yes.
rules.
Yes, exactly. See, Vetta, you get it. Vetta gets it. In a horror movie, you have to have titties and sex scenes. Anyways, okay. So I love how, okay. So I love how the captain is like, we're gonna do a 24-hour session of cheer. And I was like, that's a long time, fucker. That's like so much time. Like I've been doing an all-nighter, and that's like you're like tired at the end of this.
Right? Lock-ins. Like I remember them as a kid. And by 7 a.m. when your mom picks you up, you're like, it's 6 a.m. We've got another hour of this shit. Jesus. I will
Yeah.
say, yeah, that's just too long. Too long.
It's too long. And I'm like, what were you? I'm like, that's like, you know how doctors do those 36 hours of like full-time care, but like this is like cheerleading. I'm like, what are you gonna do at like hour 23? Like, you're not gonna be cheering. I'll tell you that right now. You're not gonna be cheering.
No, they're
It
gonna
was
be
just a bad
passed
idea.
out.
Okay, so then they decide that they're gonna cheer at the old high school, and I was like, what? And what's going on here? Like, what?
Do you in your town have old abandoned high schools? Because
No,
we don't. They're all
no.
being used.
No, it's just the high school.
They have a whole high school.
I feel like go ahead.
That
You
the
go ahead.
school district's using as storage.
Right, exactly. I feel like just because a cheerleader died doesn't mean it has to be a new high school invented.
And
Like,
did
what?
she die in the school?
Right, yeah,
Because I
exactly.
thought they went to the competition. And if people stopped using high schools every time a student died, we'd just have weird abandoned buildings
Right,
all
yeah.
over the
Yeah,
country.
right. It's just such a weird concept. Like,
So can we talk about the high school? Like, my
yeah.
favorite thing about the high school is that even the hallways, there's like stuff littered all over. The classrooms just have shit all in. But when they get to the gym that they're going to use, and there's no lights anywhere else, and they're like, there's no electricity. But then when they get to the gymnasium that they're going to use for practice, it's immaculately clean. There's beautiful, pristine mats, and there's lights. I'm like, right. So
and
got the
it takes them
abandoned building really cheap and could only clean one room.
right. It took like 2 seconds to like make that into like a practice sesh, you know? Okay. So let's start talking about the kills. All right.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, let's do. Unless you have something else to say.
No. Oh,
because
they did get transportation from the new high school to the old one. And a girl's dad owns an impound lot, and one of his workers drives a janky ass bus.
Which I love how she's like, my dad owns a bus service. I can get a bus. And she's like, well, he owns a bus lot. That's the same thing. I'm like, honey, no, that's not the same thing. That's not the same thing at all. Okay.
No.
You can get a taxi, okay, instead of a bus.
You could have called Uber. This is 2022. You all have it on your phone.
Yeah. And here's another question. Why didn't they all drive separately to this
Yeah.
abandoned high school?
Why did they have to meet at the new high school and
ex-
go? Why couldn't they have just met there?
exactly that, because they all know where it's at. They have to. Everybody's got cell phones, which I'm
And they
like,
can carpool if
which
people can't drive.
yeah, they all get rid of their which I wrote down. Of course, they all get rid of their cell
Oh,
phones.
yeah, they take them away so that everyone will be disconnected and paying
Exactly.
attention.
Okay, so when
So,
I talk about the first kill, I'm talking about the captain at her house.
at her house the night before.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah. So she puts on one of those face masks, and I love how she opens up a window and she's like, just a second. I'm like, okay, sweet pea, listen. I've been in that situation before where somebody shows up at my house and I'm in whatever, a compromising situation. And I don't open up a window. I just yell. And if they can't hear me, they walk away. I'm just like, I'm coming.
Give
But
me a
for
minute.
real,
I gotta
yeah,
put on pants.
yeah, I'm pounding away. I'm coming. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, so like, but I'm just like, and if they're not there, but like she's all like, I'm coming, and then she's like takes off her little like weird like helter skelter mask, and then she goes to the door, and then she gets murdered. Hold on, I wrote it down. Death by pom pom is anything more embarrassing? Like, and I'm all like, did she suffocate? Because I feel like her hands were free, but she wasn't doing anything with them, like defending herself.
Like she wasn't trying to like get them off of her face.
Exactly.
And I'm like, people just don't lay there and say, "Oh, you're here to murder me."
To
Okay.
murder. Yeah, exactly. I was the same way. Like, I'm all like, you're not really defending yourself. You must want to die. Like,
Yeah, I was like, "Are you suicidal?" And no one's checked on you in a while, because she didn't fight at all. And I'm like, whether people want to believe it or not, cheerleaders do have muscles. They
they
are
do.
athletic. She could have put up a hell of a good fight. She did not. She
Yeah,
laid there
which
like
our
a dead
last
fish.
our last movie review proves that cheerleaders have muscle. Because remember, Destiny, wasn't that her name? She was all like, cheerleaders are strong and agile, and then she shows all and
Yeah.
resourceful or some shit like that. I don't remember, but
As she
anyways.
snaps her fingers and points to them, and
Oh
they
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
show. Yes, I remember
Go
that.
check
Yeah.
out our last episode, fuckers.
Right. It's
Anyways,
great.
so
Super funny. You'll meet the cheer goddess.
yeah, you'll meet the cheer. She's the best. I love the cheer goddess.
Awesome.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So after they're in the old high school and they clear up the stage and everything, and
Yep.
they're practicing. I don't remember the name of the girl, but she I she's on a tower or whatever they're called, and
A pyramid. Reagan
yeah,
is her name.
and she like she like sprains her ankle, and I'm all like, okay. Why are you not all going to the hospital at this point in time? Like, call your bus, dude, and go to the hospital. Like, why are you sticking around
And
at
just
this?
elevating it on a chair. She can't even walk on it. You should go to the hospital. Plus, then
Ex-
none of you would die.
yeah, exactly. The whole time I'm all like, I'm sorry, but this girl, if I was a cheerleader and I sprained my ankle, I'd be like, yeah, you guys, I'm going to the hospital. And they're all like, we can't find the cell phones. I'd be like, you don't need a cell phone. Get me the fuck out of here. Carry me, you little fuckers.
Well, and I think she did worse than sprain it because she couldn't even walk on it. Remember, the silent Bob guy has to, and I think it's Silent Stew,
Oh, yeah.
has to carry her everywhere. So I'm like, I think it's worse than that. But yeah, they have no phones. She's hurt. And now they send Tori off to find ice. Because apparently a refrigerator is going to be working in this high school. Nothing else works. It's disgusting, but apparently there's a refrigerator somewhere with ice.
Right. Okay. I just want to say before we get into the rest of these kills, I don't know how you feel about the kills, but I felt that they were lackluster in my opinion.
They were super lame.
Because most of them were off screen. Like you didn't see any of the, like, you just saw like the beginning of it, like somebody would turn about like, oh no, and then the kills were done. Like you'd find the body or like some feet dangling later on.
Right. Yeah. They're like I think like 2 of them you don't even see. They just find the bodies,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I'm
like
just kind of
Evan
like,
or Ian.
yeah.
What was his name? Ian?
Uh, Evan.
The
Evan.
Evan. Okay.
Yeah.
So the
But
second
even
kill.
Tori, when she goes to find the ice, like you
This is
see
that the
them.
slutty girl?
Yes, that's a
Oh, and I
virgin.
put in that in quotations because
Yeah.
she's apparently a virgin, which I'm all like,
Yeah.
honey, okay.
If it's
Which
been inserted anywhere, you're
yeah,
not.
which I just want to say that okay, talking about Tori, the second kill, because she's the second kill.
Yes.
When she died, I was like, boo. I was like,
Yeah.
you didn't even get to see her titties. And she was like the slutty girl that was like pretending to be your version. I was like, daddy needs to see something going on here. Like she's texting a taco, and I was like, everybody knows what that means, honeybee. It doesn't mean I want tacos. Okay, I'll tell
Apparently
you
to
that.
her it means she wants to go get tacos. But my thing with her kill is they show the killer choking her, but then later she's hanging from the ceiling.
Oh yeah. And he cuts off her hand and she's able to
Yeah.
scream. And I'm like, wasn't he choking her like 2 seconds
That's
ago?
what yeah.
I was like, that doesn't make it. And why did nobody hear her scream?
Yeah, when they can hear Abby, when the what's his face guy, Ethan or whatever his name is, can hear her screaming from like almost outside. He literally
Yeah.
steps 1 foot in the door and is like, "Oh, that's Abby." So
Right. And then later on we get the third kill, which I don't remember the girl's name, the blonde girl, but
that's Paige,
yeah.
I think.
And she dies in a toilet drowning, which I'm like, ugh, gross.
Disgusting. And technically she
Disgusting.
doesn't die from the drowning because she's smart enough to flush the toilet to get the water out. So the murderer rips off the toilet seat and beats her with it.
Yeah,
Can we talk about the bear trap that she sets in?
Yes, let's talk about it. Go. You go.
It is the worst bear trap ever. Like you don't
Worst
see
bear
it
trap.
when she steps in it. You don't see it. You just see her fighting with it. But then when they find her dead body later and they show both her feet are inside this janky ass mouse trap looking bear trap.
Right. Which I go like, I don't know about you, but I'll just reference A Quiet Place Part 2. When he steps in a bear trap, it's got the claws and everything, and it like practically rips his foot off. And I'm all like, oh, you guys, this is not a bear trap. This is like a hamster trap. And
right. Because a bear trap is trying to catch and detain a bear. It would have amputated her foot off.
Exactly. Exactly.
Like, this is not. I mean, when they showed that, I literally was laughing because I was like, that's not a bear trap. And all she had on her head was an itty bitty little gash.
Oh, right. Right. Yeah, exactly. Like, what a weak ass bitch. Anyways. Yeah, I didn't like most of the kills because they were off screen. I was like, oh, come on. This is a horror movie. Horror movies are notorious for being cheap. So just show the kills. It shouldn't have cost you that much money to show it.
No, that's the whole point. People want to watch it. We want the blood, the gore.
Yes.
We're looking for the cheap kill with the bloody stuff. And then you want the nudity. You want to see the people breaking the rules. You want to see them having the sex, drinking the alcohol, smoking the drugs. Yes. You want to see, yep, you want to see
nipples.
Yeah. Yeah, because apparently, according to the last episode, their noses and nipples are all pierced.
Yes, yes, sister. Way to reference the last movie. Yeah. Nipples and noses are pierced, and I want to see those. Exactly. Proof is needed. Okay, moving on to the fourth kill.
Well, no, they find the list before the fourth kill.
Oh, do they find the list before the first kill? I thought they found it
before the fourth. So in between the third.
The stoner guy?
Yeah, they find it before the stoner.
I thought they found it after. Okay, but let's talk about the list. Okay.
Because, well, they don't. So the stoner guy. So my problem is, you're right. They find it after the stoner guy. The problem is they find it before they find the girl's dead body with the crappy bear trap. That's my fault. I jumped ahead. My bad.
Well, let's talk about the fourth kill before we talk about the list, because I do have thoughts on the list. Okay, so they kill him with a blow dart gun. I'm like, what? What's going on here?
No, they killed him with the axe.
Yeah, but what was the blow dart part then? because he was high, which I'm like, that's fine. But then they did the blow dart thing. What was the blow dart thing then?
I don't know, because so my favorite thing about this kill is they show a big giant red axe, but then later when Abby finds him, because they don't find him till later, and he falls forward, it's the jankiest looking like plastic axe you've ever seen in your life. It's the worst prop ever.
And
like
then and then he lands up on the screen like, and then like, is he making out with the door? And I'm like, yeah, because people do that all the time.
And then they go back to the room, and or back to the gymnasium, and that's when they talk about the list. But they're like, what is he doing?
Yeah, like, listen, I don't like drugs in general, but I have done a little bit of the herb, if you will. And I've never made out with a door before. I've been out with a microphone before while drinking, but I've never made out with a door while I'm on the herb, if you will.
The only thing that I would say that I've ever made out with on it is like a bag of potato chips as I'm eating them.
Ew, you're disgusting, fucking freak. Anyways, so I'm joking. But okay, now I have questions of the blow dart gun. What was that all about then? I want to go back to him because I have it later on in my notes when we find him later, because he isn't dead, which I'm all like, what? Like, how do you take an axe to the?
It's still there.
I'm like, I don't understand this. Okay, it's so funny because I'm like, this movie's better than the last one, but I'm all like, it so doesn't make sense. Okay, so let's move over to that stupid list of ours. Okay,
yes.
Okay.
So it's a list where the killer has listed how many points. They've turned this into a competition. It's like Grand Theft Auto.
It's called the ultimate cheer competition. And they say #cheer slay on it. And I was like, shut up, another hashtag? Get
another
the fuck
hashtag
out of here with this nonsense.
The whole time I'm like, this is a cheer version of Grand Theft Auto. You get 4 points for the slut.
I'd watch that. Not this movie though, I'll tell you that.
I'm like, you get 4 points for the slut. What was it? Like 4 points for the
it was dits. 4 points for the dits. 4 points for the stranger or the stoner, sorry.
Yep.
5 points for the what was it, ditzy nerd?
Yeah.
8 points for the basic bitch. 8 points for the jock. 10 points for the sexy blonde. 12 points for the badass, and then 15 points for the final girl. And I was like, well, I want more points than that. That's not a good point system, but whatever. What do I know?
That they had low standards, apparently. I'm
low standards. I was like, well, whatever. I was like, do what you got to do, girl. I get it. I was like,
and later the killers argue over 4 points.
Oh yeah. Because I'm because that's gonna. Which I'll at the same time I go, who cares? Like what's going on here? What's like you're arguing of a point system. Who gives a shit? I mean,
you shouldn't have made people even numbers. Maybe you should have stuck with odd numbers, or you should have said you should have thought of these rules better. You didn't think this through.
I agree. Okay. Oh, I love how Jason, the football player, was simping for Abby. Yeah. And then him and Danny are just driving around. Danny is talking to Tori because she sent him the taco emoji, and then he sent her the eggplant emoji, which I just want to say right now. Listen, I'm old. I mean, you're older. But we all know what the eggplant emoji means. It's not eggplant. Nobody likes eggplant unless it's eggplant parmesan from Olive Garden. Delicious. But nobody likes eggplant. Yeah. So we all know what that means.
If a guy sends you eggplant and you reply taco or peach, dirty things are happening.
Yeah, dirty things are happening.
Dirty things are
happening.
I'm
sorry. Like I'm gonna clap my hands.
And it's not dinner.
You need to know what's happening with the emojis, guys. Come on, let's go.
Trust me, as a parent, I know this. Anything that you need to know about emojis or abbreviation text, Google it. It'll tell you.
Yeah. Preach it, sister. Like, yeah, trust me, I will be
Urban
monitoring my
Dictionary is
kid's
very
phone.
educational, let me tell you.
Exactly. I have a daughter. I will be monitoring her phone. You know what I'm saying? Wink, wink. If I see a peach or a taco, I'm gonna be like, what the fuck is going on? Anyways, okay.
Nobody's touching your peach or your taco.
Exactly. Okay.
So can we talk about the mascot shooting the arrow at what was it, Silent Bob, which I do think it was Silent Stu, but I enjoy calling him Silent
No,
Bob.
let's call him Silent. I love Silent Bob. Yeah, let's go with that.
So Silent Bob, Mateo, I don't remember, Jackie and Abby are the only 4 left. Like everybody else has been killed, and they're running through. And
before that, but can I just say real quick? I love how Abby says the line, or what the gay guy. What was the gay guy's name?
Mateo.
Mateo is all like, what about Corey and Quincy? And she's like, we'll catch them on the way out. And I was like, you might as well be like, fuck them, we're out of here. You know,
right,
like,
there's no catching them on the way.
Like, we'll catch them. I'm like, she might as well be like, we're not catching them. They're fucking dead. They haven't been here for hours, fucker. Let's get the fuck out of here.
About that, the hallway when they see the mascot and Mateo, I can't remember if he's been shot with an arrow or if
not yet.
Abby, so the mascot starts shooting arrows, and Abby chooses that moment to cartwheel out of the way of
I wrote this down. I was like, did that bitch just do a flip? like
she did a flip. She cartwheel, and I'm like, that's the move you went with to get away from someone. It's arrow. They just shot at you.
Right. And this is after they find Tori's body, and they're like, that's the worst spirit fingers ever. And I'm like, oh, get the fuck out of here. Whatever your name is.
Mateo.
Which I just want to say Mateo is Spanish for Matt. Anyways, which is my name.
Just in case you need to know, we're educational.
Yeah, which I wrote it down in my I wrote it down because like, did she just fucking flip to get out away from an arrow? Like, get the fuck out of here with this movie.
And they're running around to the doors. Every single door is chained. And Mateo goes, what? Was there a sale on chains? And I was like,
right.
Really? Okay, so I don't know if when you were in high school, but when I was in high school, there were some doors that had chains on them at night, like as they were closing them up for the night.
It didn't have chains that had padlocks, like those padlocks that you, but yeah, so no, like, you're totally right.
That's not so far-fetched. But now the football players, they magically arrive at the school because they're looking for Abby because he wants his girlfriend back.
Because they're simping or looking for pussy.
Right. They magically find the one door in the entire school, first try, that has no chains on it.
No chains,
but it's stuck because they're weaklings and he's got to use a crowbar to open it up. I'm like, man, what are the odds you find the one door in the whole
Bring
school?
It on, you know what I'm saying?
So
where's the spirit goddess when you need her?
Right, for sure. So what did you think about when the killer leads, and it really wasn't the killer, it was the Evan guy, but the video of Abby's boyfriend making out with her best friend?
Oh, Jason. Okay. Yeah. Well, there's some stuff before this that I want to talk about.
Oh, let's do that. Then we'll get to
no, we can talk about this right now. Ridiculous, because first off, it doesn't show really anything. I was like, I mean, like, what, maybe he kissed her, like, okay, whatever, I get, not excusable, but I'm like, it's not that, it doesn't deserve death, I'll tell you that. But then all she does is hit him in the leg, and then she throws the TV on him, and he's like, he gets electrocuted with a TV, and I was like, I don't think that's a thing. Like, what's going on here?
I don't know. I feel like, and that was like an old 1990s TV that, it wasn't flat screened. It was the big old tubes. Heavy as fuck.
I'm sorry. I'm surprised they didn't bring in a projector, during this scene and just be like, look, old school.
Hey, it is an old school. They were working with what was available.
Ain't that the truth? Okay, so real quick, rewind it back just a tiny bit. I love when she found the stoner guy dying. What was his name? Quincy? Was that Quincy?
No, was
Or
it?
Corey?
No, I don't remember.
It doesn't matter. One of those
It doesn't
two.
matter. The
Okay,
stoner
I
guy
love how
works for
she
me.
finds him and he's all like, I need a joint kind of thing in my pocket. And his last words are too late, bummer. And then it's got this violin music. Wah, 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 wah. I was like, oh, get the fuck out of here, Abby. I was like, I've had enough of you and your do-gooder shit. Okay.
And then he falls forward and you see a plastic axe that looks nothing like the one she used to kill him.
And his XL is like, I was like, oh, get at. I was like, come on. Where is the acting here? I want like some.
That was his acting. He was trying, but failed miserably to be the vampire in Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Oh, ain't that? Preach it, sister. Preach. Oh, ooh. Okay. Yeah, you're right. You're so right. Okay. So then before that, okay, the gay guy, what was his name? Quincy? Mateo. Yeah, that's right. Okay. So he also does a flip to avoid an arrow, but he doesn't avoid it. And I was like, ha, gotcha, bitch. And everything.
He gets the arrow to the arm.
Yeah, and I was like, stop flipping. If somebody was shooting arrows at me, I wouldn't be flipping to get out of the way. I'd be like, oh shit,
or run.
Ducking. Tuck and roll, bitch. Tuck and roll.
Doesn't work just for fires.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, why are you guys like doing gymnastics right now? What is going on here? You're just looking for attention.
Right.
Okay, now we can fast forward back to where we are.
Okay, so they're back in the gymnasium because the boyfriend's dead. And
real quick, before they get to the gymnasium, real quick. So Abby, she runs into the room where Libby or whatever the whore's name is, the slut.
Tori.
Tori. She dies. Okay, why is it that every movie now, when they have those paper slicers, they pull off the slicer part and they've got like a machete? Why is it that every horror movie does that now?
Yeah, and can I just tell you, we used those when I was in school. They don't come off.
Yeah, exactly. It's you gotta get like a screwdriver or like a wrench or some shit like that.
Apparently in the movie, you're so strong, you can just pull that son of a bee off.
It doesn't matter how old it is. Even if it has rust, you can't just pull it off like that. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. It's not just a thing. This is a thing. It's really weird. I don't like it.
So, and before we get back to the gymnasium, so she runs into the mummy guy that came in with the ex-boyfriend. And he gets the arrow. Yeah, he gets the arrow to the head and says something like, oh, that hurts, or how does it look, or whatever, and then falls over dead. And I'm like, so first my question is would an arrow, because it didn't like go through, it looked like it just hit him in the forehead and kind of stuck there, would that kill him?
I'm gonna say yes. Okay. I think an arrow to the head would kill anybody. I'm just gonna say.
I don't know.
I think anything to the head would kill somebody. I'm just gonna put that out there.
Take nails to the head, and
I'm no medical professional, but I feel like anything that penetrates your skull without medical attention would kill you. I'm just gonna put that out there.
Okay, so then my question is why is he talking? And why does he care what it looks like?
Again, I'm going to put it out there that I'm not a medical professional and I've been drinking, but I just feel like maybe he's just jabber, jib, jib because it's fucked up.
All the cylinders weren't firing it.
The cylinders are firing.
So now they're back in the gymnasium because the twins have revealed themselves.
Oh, yeah.
Murderers.
The big okay, can we talk about the big reveal? I just want to talk about this backstory, okay? Because when this happened, I was all like, how I like literally I said out loud talking to, of course, my wife and anybody in the room that would listen to me, like my children. I was like, how could we figure this out? Anybody, how could you figure this out? They're all like, my aunt, who was a twin, which we didn't know anything about this, was the girl pushed off of the pyramid at the beginning scene to her death, where her head fell off, apparently. And I'm like, how would I know that?
And
How
then
would I know
they say,
that?
so them, and this is my favorite. And then when my mom had twins, she made us promise to get revenge. So then I go, if you wouldn't have been twins, nothing would have happened.
Yeah, which I go, you trained your twins, which are half black, by the way, because the mom is very white. You train your half twins to murder people? What?
Right. She took them to survivalist camps.
Yeah, yeah, it's so weird.
So
like it's
so
like the whole
weird.
time I'm like, I don't know what's going on here. Like, I have children, you have children. I don't know how it would have to be very hardcore for me to train them to murder.
Right.
I don't know. It's so weird.
So weird. So then they have the big reveal, and this has to be like one of the dumbest, funniest things I've seen. So then these two murderers decide the way they're going to decide who to kill next is they're going to make them all do what they say in a cheer. And if they don't do it perfectly, they die.
Yeah, it's called cheer or die. And they both say it at the same time. And I was like, I like the twin, correlation or whatever. That's not the right word. I can't think right now. I've been drinking. Fuck off. But I like that they said it at the same time. Cheer
they have the
or
total
die.
Huge like twin vibe thing going on for sure. And then they're like, and then every time someone would succeed, the four, because we only have four left at this time. Everybody else is dead. And every time one of them succeeds, everybody else starts, like, when they're starting to do it, they start cheering their name.
Yeah.
Mateo.
Or like, stand, silence, stand, silence, stand. And you're all like, what? And it's like the weirdest, like cheering. It's like, Mateo. Like,
and then when they do everything and they get to come back to the group, they're all like,
yeah,
and then that's just pissing the murderers off more.
Right on. So then they start like fighting, and I'm all like,
cheer fighting. That's what I call it.
Exactly. Like she's like, do a herky, and she does a herky and kicks somebody in the face. I'm like, I cannot handle this shit.
Flip.
Yeah. I was just happy that I had started drinking at that point, because I was like, okay, I've had enough of this bullshit at this point.
Yeah, so then they get to the point where they run.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's talk about this. So they get into an area where there's no way out. There's no exit.
So they go through a door that says courtyard.
Yeah.
That's the shittiest courtyard
my God. Ain't that the truth, sister? It wasn't even a courtyard. It was just like 3 like concrete walls. Like, I was like, this is not a courtyard. There wasn't even a basketball hoop.
It's where the teachers went to smoke.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is. Okay, so they decide they're gonna herky up a wall or pyramid up a wall, which I'm like, okay, I get that part. I get they're gonna herky.
But Abby is afraid of heights, and so there are 5 of them now because they got the broken ankle girl back.
Yeah, well, great for her.
Right.
The lesbian. She's lesbianic. Okay, let's be honest. Her and the black girl, they kissed, so they're feeling it.
Whatever floats their boats.
The taco is the best. You know what I'm saying? I won't argue against the taco. You know what I'm saying?
So they decide Abby's gonna be the one they're gonna throw up there.
And she gets up there, which I'm like, yay for you. I'm like, at this point in time, I'm like, oh, that kind of makes sense. Like, from what was it? Movie number 3 where they break into the flamingos.
Yeah,
their little thing. Yes. Yeah.
So
I
my
get
whole
that.
thing though is they throw her up and she grabs onto the edge. That's believable.
Yes.
What wasn't believable about that was them watching her pull herself up. Because I don't know.
I wrote down, somebody was pushing her up, because she, like, at one point in time, her body moves, but her arms don't move. Like she's just like, I was like, honey.
And I don't know where I got this from. I think it was when my children took swim classes. They were taught when you're on the holding onto the ledge to get out to go elbow, elbow, knee, knee.
Right
Because that's
on.
how you pull yourself up. She went elbow, elbow, body came up and over.
Right, exactly. Like somebody had like a board underneath her, was like, just go, you fat chick. Anyways,
You're getting heavy.
yeah,
Get out of here.
exactly. So
So then magically she's on the roof
yeah.
and there's a rope.
A rope. Oh my gosh. She's like, a rope. Finally, somebody's happy. I was like, a cheer goddess has answered
It has
your
got
prayers,
you,
you
girl.
guys. That
She
is
is here.
yeah, exactly. Where is Vivica A. Fox in this movie when you need her? The cheer goddess.
She is the fairy godmother who is
Egg.
just floating around and dropping ropes or
Preach it,
pom-poms
sister.
to those that
Yeah,
need them.
yeah, exactly. That I'm not even joking. That's exactly what I thought when she's like, "Oh, look, a rope. Something good is finally happening." I was like, "Cheer goddess, where are you right now? Where are you?" Okay.
The best would have been if a little screen up in the bottom would have popped
Oh
up
my
and
God.
goes, I'm everywhere at all
Exactly.
times.
That would have been no joke. Okay. So, okay. I love how Mateo is the last one, the gay guy, and the one twin like lassos his ankle. Like, I'm all like, what? I'm like, they didn't even show it. They just did a whoosh noise, and then he's like, and then Amber jumps off the roof that she had to herky onto, and she's okay. Like,
Yeah.
no broken ankles, no nothing. She just James Bonds flips it on the ground. You know what I'm saying?
Can we talk about too, before Mateo climbs up, they pull the arrow out of his arm
Oh,
and it just
yeah.
pops right out. That's not how arrows work, because they're wider and kind of have hooks when they go in, so it would have ripped like arms out. And then he would not have been able to climb up that rope. He couldn't even have someone touch his arm without crying like a baby, and now all of a sudden he can climb up the rope.
Yeah, I have nothing. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It was pretty ridiculous. But at the same time, I was like, I'm here for it. You know,
Right? So
we're only 20 minutes left. Let's just do this thing. Like,
So
yeah, get the arrow out.
they kill one of the twins on the roof.
Oh, yeah, which I love how she's like, my mother loved me the best. And everything,
Like,
you're like, you're missing teeth.
Did you as twins, because you're a twin, and I feel like in every twin movie that you watch where twins are evil, they're always fighting over who the mother loved best. Did you and your twin ever go, oh, mom loves me more? Mom loves me more.
No, because we both realized that our parents love me more. Because I'm the baby.
You are the baby.
I am. I'm all like cute and shit, and I'm all like, hey, look at me and everything. I don't know if this one was the baby, but yeah, no, there was no competition in terms of that, because I mean, let's be honest, when our brother came out, God took a step back and was like, I can do way better than that. And then I came out. I was like, yay, I'm excited.
I feel like that's what happens with all twins. The first one was an heir.
Although our twin brother likes to tell me all the time that I'm the leftovers, and I'm all like, well, the leftovers are better than you, fucker. Anyways, so now
they're on the roof and they're using the same rope to get down. And
which I loved. I loved, like, I was like, way to be resourceful.
But I love how Abby's the strongest one. Like, she's the one that's holding the rope on the roof.
Yeah. And then I love how she does the cheer thing where she's all like, they're gonna catch me, like the basket
toss.
Yeah, exactly. That exercise you do at a company, like team building exercise, but it's not off chairs, it's off a roof. And I was like,
and can we just say, from the side filming, she's falling straight back. They're 20 feet away from
so far away from
the building, but of course they catch her, and they're all so excited.
Yeah, it was ridiculous, but I was like, okay, I'm here for it. It's like, fine, it's fine.
So they run back to the janky bus, and they think the bus driver's dead, but then they
which I want to just be honest, I would have accepted if the bus driver was dead. I was like, I think that would have been better. But it was fine.
And they could have just like thrown his body out of the bus.
Yeah,
right away.
exactly. But he wasn't dead. He was alive.
He wasn't. He was enjoying his, what did he call
Meditation?
Meditation time or something.
Which I was like, oh, get the fuck out of here.
Self-affirmation, was that what he called
yes,
it?
yes. That's exactly. I was like, get the fuck out. Kick rocks, you fucking asshole. I hate you already. I'm glad you're dead now.
And he gets shot with an arrow in the side.
No, not an arrow. It's like a fucking crowbar. It's so huge. It's like if it's an arrow, it's the biggest arrow I've ever seen. That's what she said.
It breaks through the glass.
Yeah.
But it hits him in like the side. So the glass.
Yeah. And it's like this thick. That's what she said. But it's.
But the window is like shoulders and head height. And it's like him like right above the hip in the stomach.
Exactly. I don't think your mathematics makes sense.
Instantly, is that an instant death?
Yeah, exactly. He instantly dies, and I was like, what vital organ did you hit?
Spleen? I don't know.
Your affirmations suck, fucker.
She took out his appendix.
And she's of course like taunting them, like, hey, I killed your bus driver kind of thing. And I'm like, honey, you should hold on before you count your chickens, honey.
They're all of age to drive.
Right.
Like, everyone keeps forgetting this. They can drive.
Which also I go, why did you drive a bus there? Why did you all drive separately? Like, and why did you give up your phone? So stupid.
It would have just been like, I'll turn it off and put it in my bag. Wink, wink.
Exactly. It's so stupid.
I gotta go to the bathroom. Do you need your bag? Yes, I do.
So then they get in the bus, right? And the second twin, who is the murderer, also a murderer, she's all got her bow and arrow, and she's standing in front of the bus, and I'm putting in quotations, they run her over. And then of course they stop, and then she's all like, you missed me. I was like, bitch, you spoke up. Why did you talk? Why did you talk? Just shut your mouth. And then they back it up and run her over
brings a whole new meaning to throw her under the bus type of situation.
Exactly.
So can I ask this question? If they went to survivalist camps and whatever, why is a bow and arrow their weapon of choice?
Right. Why? Why aren't you using a gun, a rifle, anything?
That a sword would be. I mean,
right?
There's a knife at one point, but they don't actually stab anyone. She throws it into the thigh of Tori, but doesn't kill Tori with the knife.
And they have a lot of throwing knives, but I'm like, you guys are bad at throwing knives.
They're really bad. They're survival camp. Their mom should get their money back.
Exactly. The Willy Wonka mom should be taken away. Social services should have been called a couple of times.
Right, because it shouldn't have been just because she was crazy. It should have been because she's taking them to really janky survival camps that are doing a shitty job. They're not surviving.
So so after they back it up onto the murderer, the second murderer.
Yep. It says on the screen, because they drive away, 1 year later,
right?
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. And they are at the championship, okay?
In their brand new outfits.
Which look great. I'm not gonna lie.
And they're doing their little prayer and praying. And they magically found enough people, enough people to fill all their spots and train them and everything. And they're doing their little Diablos on 3, but they silently point to the sky. Can we talk about would they be doing this? Because I feel like they would have a shit ton of PTSD and the trauma.
Oh my god, Vetta, I wrote it down. I would be in therapy so hardcore after that whole situation. Then Abby is so hardcore happy, like it's ridiculous.
She's just like her mom. She's got the whistle and everything, and she's just delightful. Like,
Yeah.
did someone die?
Yeah,
Who died?
exactly. Yeah, yeah. Murder, murder who?
No, that was just a joke.
Yeah.
She's like, that's what she's saying. To put, they moved away to a
And
farm up
this, yeah,
north.
and this ending win happened so fast that I'm all like, you guys, this is a disservice to the Bring It On franchise.
Well,
Like,
you know what the problem is? The last episode had like the 35-minute in finale like competition.
that's
So
so
this time
true.
they shortened it. They went way too long the last time. So
Yeah,
they
I
shortened it
agree.
really, that 10 minutes that every other movie had was they just couldn't go back. They
Yeah,
couldn't.
I
I don't
agree.
know. I don't know. It just went so fast. It was like 5, 6,
So
7, 8,
fast.
done.
Like the green team, what was their names? The
And
Cannonballs.
Green Knight.
They were like standing off to the side and they were like, and the winner is the Diablos. And I was like, oh, that was fast. They didn't have time to count the votes. Like they just
I go, don't they
decided.
usually in all the other movies too? They except for the last one, they didn't in the World Smack one or Cheer Smack one either. But in all the other ones, they named off like second place and
Yeah,
then first
yeah.
place. Because remember,
Yeah,
Kirsten Dunst gets second place and she's all super
exactly.
excited
Not in
and
this one
everything.
though. They like
No,
wrap it up real good. They're like, hey guys, we're over the 2 hour mark. We need to wrap it up.
right?
So
Everybody else, you'll get a participation ribbon in the mail. We're only doing first place. So
right.
go get a sandwich.
Right. Delicious.
Right.
Okay.
All right. So, do you have anything else you'd like to say about this?
No, I don't have anything. I think we've covered it pretty extensively, I think.
Would you recommend it?
No. I mean, like, this is the thing. If you like horror, go ahead. As far as the Bring It On franchise, I think it's better than not the last one, but like the last 5 or whatever. But I don't know if this was the best place to take this series. I've been drinking. But no, I would say no.
Okay, so before we move on to the next segment, I am going to throw you a curveball because I've been
Do
drinking
it.
as well, and this epiphany just came to me.
Yeah.
So we watched 6 Bring It On movies, right? 5, 5, 6. Is that right? 6?
Sure.
Will you rank them from your favorite to your least favorite?
Right now, no.
No.
Vetta, I was going to talk to you. We should do a separate. We're going to do a separate video about this
Okay.
where we rank these videos.
Sweet. Okay. So then I'll do this. All right. So now that we've talked about the movie, let's move on to our next part of the show. What is your question?
Okay, so my question for this specific movie is what is your favorite twin movie? Go.
Oh, this one goes back to when I was a kid. I loved this movie. I watched it the other day because I remembered it and I just loved it so much. It's Big Business with Bette Midler and
Oh
Lily
my
Tomlin.
God.
I
love
it.
that movie.
Where they're twins.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Oh, love it so much. So much.
Yeah, I love Bette Midler. I just love her. She's great.
I just love that they're fraternal twins that really were identical twins that got switched, and they never thought anything of it that they were supposed to be identical twins, but they looked nothing alike. So I loved it. What was yours?
Well, I just wanted to say about Big Business. I love that. First off, I not only do I love Bette Midler, but I love Lily Thomas. I love her.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
so great. And I love that scene where they do the mirror part.
Oh, in the
of
bathroom
movie.
in New York.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love that. I love that scene. It's so like iconic, and like B, you're just like, it's so funny because they're like doing their makeup at the same time, and then like they do like a tiny bit thing and then they look away and they're like, oh, it's just the same thing. It was just great. I love that movie. Okay. So my answer is It Takes Two, which is the Olsen twins.
Yep.
I love the Olsen twins when they were younger. Not now. They're kind of creepy and they have like
I wish they would
bones.
do stuff now.
I wish
love
they
their
would too.
sister who was not a child star waited until she was an adult. Do you think that's because the
and
parents were like, we fucked the twins up, we're not fucking you up, you can fuck
right.
yourself up later?
Yeah, Elizabeth. Yeah,
Yeah.
Elizabeth she's Wanda in the Marvel
Yeah.
universe. Yeah, she's
Yeah.
great. But
She's
the Olsen,
great.
yeah, the twins, I wish they would do something too also. But It Takes Two. I remember this or this movie because there was like a portion of it. I can't remember exactly what happens exactly, but there's part where they're talking to this like billionaire where she's all like, well, we heard that you'd sell your mom for 50 cents. And I was like, oh, burn, fucker. These two little girls just burned you, you piece of shit. And I just remember loving that movie like so hard. And it's like a ranch and everything. And I was like, look at that.
All of their movies, though, were that like good, wholesome, fun little movie, like even after, even the ones from when they were teenagers.
Yeah, I love them. I love them. Even though now they're all like skeletal and married to French guys and shit.
No, they're divorced.
Right. Oh, I didn't even know that. Ooh,
Yeah,
I'm gonna look that up.
Him.
Okay. All right. What is your question for this movie?
So my question is, we normally do favorites. So I'm going to go with least favorite movie, a revenge movie. Because this was a revenge movie, a very removed purpose revenge movie. I don't know, but what is your least favorite revenge movie?
Okay, so mine, I don't know if it counts as like, well, it counts as a revenge. I'm putting it up in quotations as a revenge movie, but it is the remake of Overboard. Now Overboard originally had
Kurt Russell and
Kurt
Goldie
Russell.
Hawn.
And yes, and they are married now, by the way. But then the remake,
they were married at the time of that movie.
Yes, the remake has Anna Faris and Eugenio Derbez. I'm saying that wrong.
Go to our regular podcast, and you can see him in The Valet.
Yeah, which
or you can hear us talk about him in The Valet.
Which I will maintain my Eugenio Derbez. It picks the wrong projects. Anyways, this movie I watched and it sucked. It was horrible. Stop remaking classics because the original is so good. But this movie is my least favorite because
closet in the original that Kurt
oh my God,
Russell makes for her shoes.
I'd suck a dick for that closet. Like, no joke. That closet is amazing. It comes out, it unfolds, and I'm like,
more come out from behind it.
Yeah, I'm like, how did you do this, you piece of shit? The carpenter. I'm all like, but the remake, if you ever watch the remake, which by the way, don't. It's not good. It's bad. And I love Anna Faris. We did Friends with Anna Faris. She's great in that. I love Anna Faris, and I love Eugenio Derbez. Sorry, I've been drinking. Fuck off. But I love him. I love both those two people. This movie is bad. It's bad. It's bad. Don't watch it. Okay. What about you? What is your answer? Go.
I went with the 2013 Carrie remake.
Ew.
So bad.
So bad.
So bad. How do you ever replace Sissy Spacek as Carrie?
Yeah, and there's the end like death sequence in the prom is not as good. Like
no. And then when she's like walking down the street, even after it all, it's just not, the whole time you're watching it, you're just like, your brain's like, no, this ain't right.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Like,
I don't like remakes, and I'm glad you picked a remake as well, because remakes piss me off, especially when it was an amazing original.
Yeah,
now,
the original.
I'd love to see them remake some shitty originals into something better, but nobody seems to be doing that.
Yeah, they just keep taking really good movies and remake them. And I was like, why? It's so good. It's like
that's like somebody, taking, I don't know, a classic.
The Goonies.
Oh no! Don't even put that in the universe.
Or so Breakfast Club.
The Goonies, I will murder them.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Those are the type of movies that people would, don't
Yeah,
know.
I know, right?
Don't
Don't
even put that
remake
in the
them. They're
universe.
already
No,
perfect. They're perfect.
they're
They're perfect.
amazing.
Leave them alone. They're
Leave
perfect.
them alone.
They're
Don't
perfect.
fucking
Yeah.
touch them. I would
Yeah.
go to jail for that.
Yeah, right.
I'm not even joking.
Jail.
I don't think I would survive in jail.
I wouldn't survive in jail either.
Well,
I'm
you
right
wouldn't
there
survive
with
for
you,
different
sister.
reasons than me. I don't know when to shut up. That's why I wouldn't make it. You wouldn't make it because you'd be someone's bitch, and they'd
ain't
be
that the
every orifice
sister,
of
I
yours
have a
would
whole
be getting traded.
ain't that the truth, sister? I'd be somebody's bitch and everything.
You'd be telling your wife, I'm worth 13 packs of cigarettes. It's really good.
You're speaking nothing but hashtag truth right now. I have thoughts on this. We have to talk about this later.
Right. All right. So do you have anything else you would like to add?
No, I have nothing else to add.
All right. So thank you guys so much for listening. And if you would like, hop over to wherever you get your podcast from and listen to our regular feed. Also, while you're there, please, 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 if they offer a rating system or a review, please give us a 5-star review. We would greatly appreciate it. You have no idea how much it helps smaller podcasts and YouTube channels like us. If you want to stay updated, please follow us on Twitter before it disappears at BS Drunk Pod. We'll keep you updated on all our happenings. If you are a YouTube watcher, this video will show up on there someday, I promise. And if you want to see it before it shows up on YouTube, subscribe to us and you'll get it first. But otherwise, follow us at YouTube BS Drunk Movie Reviews. And most importantly, as you know, Matt and I do, don't forget to drink, recap, review, and repeat. Bye, guys.
Bye.